welcome to this episode of Fear of Being Seen Online with me, Iona Mead, here at the Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona. So I'm going to share with you in this episode and this part of this Fear of Being Seen Online is series 7 more spiritual business and marketing tips with me, Iona Mead. So I want to share about how I reclaimed my power. And so I'm just going to break down each tip and give you some gold and some nuggets of wisdom, hopefully. I have got notes, so you'll have to excuse me for looking down at my phone as I share each of these tips. So let's dive in. Let me know if you are new to me. I have been creating this series for you. And just as a reminder, actually, for myself of where I was when I did have a fear of being seen online. Today, I've done my daily live for the 7 Freedoms Intentional Living podcast here at the Soul Legacy TV. I have been doing reels and shorts and YouTube shorts, and I have been getting ready and preparing for my monthly call. And I've been doing a 7-day challenge, a movement marketing media kit challenge, the 3rd week in September. And I did a whole week of daily lives for the 7-day challenge, 90 minutes on my YouTube channel, and then a Q&A. We've got coaching tomorrow. We've got an orientation into my program tomorrow, like all video based, all being seen online, some of it public and some of it private, some of it in the Soul Legacy Academy. So I visualized and I really reclaimed my power. So this series, hopefully, it will support you in being seen online as well. This whole playlist is taken from my book. And so I call it my book launch video series. So this is my book, if you are new to me. It's called Spiritual YouTubers from Scratch, a soul guided influencers compass to leverage your light work and lifestyle on YouTube. So book readers, we have a book readers community, and you guys can watch these videos. Hopefully you'll find them of value and share and buddy up as you go through the book and continue on your education. There's a 5-day challenge that goes inside this book to support you with marketing your spiritual business and marketing it online and marketing on YouTube, and really using YouTube to its full capacity and power. So I reclaim my power. So in this series, if you don't want to purchase the book, there is 2 free chapters of my book. There's a live masterclass which you'll see on my YouTube channel for spiritual business book marketing. It's the channel trailer, so you can click and you can come with me live. I go live, so I did have a fear of being seen online, and now I go live on the last Monday of the month at 3 p.m. UK time to share with you about how you can get your book and actually put it on YouTube and actually share what it is that you do. So you can purchase the book. I'll leave the link down below. So yeah, I'm here being seen online because I reclaimed my power. And so the first 2 chapters of my book is the key principle number 1, the principle of consistently going public. And the second principle is the key principle of the integrity-based self-publishing. And I believe that integrity-based self-publishing is more about being an author who is speaking to your readers. So when you take the focus off you focus on your readers. That's what I say. All right, so let's dive into these 7 spiritual business marketing tips for you. So the first tip for the fear of being seen online, and hopefully it will help you move through your fear of being seen online. And I say reclaim your true voice. And so you might be like, what do you mean reclaim my true voice? I don't feel like I have a voice online yet. But when you go within and what you've been called to do, that expression becomes your true voice. I remember going to a seminar in London, and I just had heard the speakers on the stage, and there was many of us in the audience, and one lady, it was a guy who was doing hypnotherapy, and one lady who I'd met at the seminar, she's like, I could do better than him on the stage. And I was like, but why are you here and he's up there? And at that point, I was like, this is where I need to bridge that gap. I didn't want to be on the stage. I'm terrified actually of being on the stage, to be fair. Never mind fear of being seen online, fear of being on stage. I will conquer it. I want to do a TED talk. But anyway, point being, I was like, there's where I found my role of supporting you and just going further. And if you see yourself being up there, then doing that and moving through anything that's a barrier or a blocker to it. So let me go to my notes for this first tip of reclaiming your true voice. Excuse me. And for some reason, again, my Google notes are fine until I actually start to click on them. So reclaim your true voice. Your voice is sacred and only you can activate its full expression. And when you realize that, you're like, oh, okay. I have done this many times and I share this all the time. Reclaiming my true voice and reclaiming my power. I actually speak out, even still now, to be fair. I will go on a walk and I will speak out what it is that I want to say. Excuse me, or I'll record and nobody will hear it, especially if I've got something new. And it tends to be people say, Iona, I can feel your energy. But when I'm first recording something, it feels really flat to me. So I'll just walk through and hear my own voice about it, and I will walk through it and just talk it out basically. And I'll actually press the record button so it feels like I'm recording and I'm speaking. My going public and going online and doing lives, I was like, I reclaimed my power because I didn't want to learn to edit. I didn't want to learn to edit my voice. I wanted to just speak and reclaim my true voice rather than being someone that's talking about YouTube and encouraging you or even me to limit and restrict my voice and how I speak and just not be true to that. So hopefully that helps. And again, it's gone right down to the bottom, so you have to bear with me. So, and these lights are literally shining so brightly in my eyes. So, hang on. Just have to bear with me 1 second. Hang on. So, reclaim your true voice. So, fear of being seen online starts as a fear of being heard. Have you got that fear of being heard? I know that a lot of my students say they have a fear of being judged. They have a fear of being seen, but they have a fear of being judged. The fear of being heard is like people owning what it is that you have to say and standing by it, right? And so I encourage you to just drop the filter, speak from the soul, speak soul to soul so you can connect soul to soul with your soul clients. Your voice is your vibration. Let it be loud, let it be loving, and let it be unapologetically you. Is that awesome for your spiritual business? And to have that as that tip to reclaim your true voice, hopefully that helps you to own this tip and just practice and practice and practice. Reclaiming your voice as part of building your spiritual business and marketing online. There's a time when I wouldn't speak unless I had it all scripted. And now I just speak from the soul. Like I'm looking down and I'm doing my tips, but that's because I don't want to forget anything. Because we can reclaim our voice, we can reclaim the truth, and the truth always lands. And so if you're speaking and you're not pretending to be a version of you that you think you should be, then you're good. Then you're good. All right. The second tip in this Fear of Being Seen online series for 7 spiritual business marketing tips is create spiritual boundaries. And I know that some of you are like, what do you mean a boundary? So let me read this tip. So create spiritual boundaries. And it's like spiritual boundaries. Do they go together? Yes, they do. All right. You don't have to be available for everything and everyone. That is huge. I was talking about this today, actually, and yesterday. Boundaries protect your power, your presence, and your purpose. Energetic boundaries are just as vital as physical ones. Saying no is a sacred act of saying yes to your truth. And we repeat that. Energetic boundaries are just as vital as physical ones. saying no is a sacred act of saying yes to your truth. And so, this tip around creating boundaries for your spiritual business and marketing your spiritual business is visibility without boundaries is exhausting. So, being online, doing the things, eh, and then not having boundaries. And so, I've got hard boundaries. I've got very hard boundaries. And I was talking about yesterday how I could make my boundaries even stronger. As I build my business and I be more visible, I use the DMs quite a lot. I use the DMs on Facebook and I use the DMs on LinkedIn. So that's how people communicate with me as well. And I've just opened my mastermind, and I will open it to 18 students, right, per month. And so 9 to 18, it depends. So anyway, those are my boundaries as well. And so depending on who comes closer to me, I've got a hard boundary now, which I didn't have necessarily before. I thought I did, because people fill out intake forms. They don't apply for my mastermind, but they fill out the intake form. So I've got a harder filter. I won't have anyone just so close to me. But also, I know because I DM, I have like conversations. I'm not all over the social media. I'm all over YouTube, but I'm not all over the social media. My YouTube channel, like here at Soul Legacy TV, just that spiritual business success. Is somebody on here? Actually says different things. Hey, love, how you doing? Hey, Isaac. I was just saying, we were talking about boundaries and stuff, and having a place to have those boundaries in your spiritual business. It's energetic as well. It doesn't say that you're even on, so maybe you were on, and then I haven't seen what you've said, so apologies. Hey, love. And so I love having, and so right on time, only having the people around me, close to me, that I want to have close to me. Opening up my mastermind was a really big deal for me. And so, because I shot it, I was like, I'm not feeling that. And so I've got a beautiful soul sister in my mastermind now that I'm like excited to work with. So yeah, and having those boundaries and creating spiritual boundaries energetically before people even come to you. So now for me, I have the sequence of having people do the work before they even come to work with me. And I set that intention and I love it. Hi, Sif, if you're still on here, say something else. So apologies. And so let me see. Okay, create spiritual boundaries. Hang on. Energetic boundaries. Da, da, da. Whether it's who gets access, that's what I'm saying. Whether it's who gets access to your inbox, yes. Your energy or your emotional space is okay to protect your sacred business. You're not here to be available 24/7. You're here to be aligned, and I love that. And so I feel very, very aligned. And so one of the reasons why I do these videos on a weekly basis to share spiritual business marketing tips, and I do my daily lives, is because I want to support my students, and I want to support my students in having that like light work and lifestyle balance, and being that role model to have that balance, and then actually answering questions on the lives, so that, because I teach about spiritual business and life work balance, I give a year's worth of coaching so that you guys can have that spiritual life work balance. And so rather than having like me be available all the time, I'm here on these daily lives and on these weekly videos because I want to be present, because I do the Q&A, because I want to answer questions. I have points in my spiritual business where it doesn't even say that you're on here. Here boundaries are very important. And so I was talking about this yesterday, and I'm sharing, like, when I've opened the mastermind, like where we are, when we are, why we're where we are. And so if we don't have boundaries, we are going to be exhausted. And so when you build your spiritual business and you're marketing your spiritual business, I say to have those boundaries for yourself, where you're posting, what environments you're in, because I know that many of you don't like marketing, but the boundary isn't even there for what you're absorbing for other people's marketing. Do you know what I mean? And like other people's businesses and just getting sucked in, or there's so many ways that we just need to have those boundaries. Awesome role model for spiritual business. Thank you, beautiful. I really appreciate that. I really do. That's just lit me up that you're even on here. I was going to have these weekly videos not live, and then today I was just like, I'm just going to do it live. It's easier for me, and then I'll pull out some shorts and some reels. So I think I'm on to the next tip. Hang on, let me see. So yeah, let's go to tip 3 for this fear of being seen online, and let me know how have you had a fear of being seen online. So I did the 1 week to create a movement marketing media kit, right? And so I was sharing before you came on here that I was live, and I'm live annually. I used to have a fear of being seen online, and I don't love camera. However, when you start to practice and you are creating those boundaries, I create the boundary of I'm not following everybody else in the industry that does a pop up, pop down Facebook challenge. I wanted to do a YouTube challenge. And so I've got those boundaries of, okay, well, do the work and set your intention when you work with me. Go back and hold yourself accountable. And another thing that I share is the boundaries of when I'm online and when I'm offline. But I actually want my students, and I give my students a soul accountability body, a scholarship, so that, and although that doesn't seem like a boundary, it is a boundary in the sense of I still want my students to get success so they can bring in a body so that they can actually keep moving through what it is that we're doing. I love it. So tip number 3 is practice radical self-compassion. And so sometimes when we get into a program or we're like doing our spiritual business, we experience other people that are not necessarily compassionate, and we want to be compassionate to others, but we also need to be compassionate to ourselves. And if you leave any comments, I'll pull them up. So do you practice radical self-compassion? Oh, do you know what these this Google no is weird. What I am going to do is do my tips backwards because it keeps dropping me down to the last tip, and we are at tip number 3, radical self-compassion. Let me see. Here's the notes. So 7 spiritual business marketing tips. Tip number 3, you're not behind. Many of my students were telling me, oh, I feel like I'm left behind, especially when other people got success. They're like, oh, I feel like I'm left behind. And I set a boundary. I remodeled my business so people never ever say that, right? They're never ever able to say that. And you're not behind, you're not too much, and you're not too late. You are where you are, just exactly where you need to be. And I know what it feels like. People look at me and they're like, I don't know, but you've got this and you've got that. And I go, it's taken me over a decade. It's taken me a really long time to figure stuff out. Even my masterclass, like the first time I did that was almost a decade. Next month, it will be a decade when I did my first ever webinar. I paid $400-500 or something like that, dollars, to learn how to do a webinar. And now I do the masterclass. And it was years ago that I had the vision that I would do it every single month. And I've done it on and off, but now it's like, okay, I've sat in that space. Practice radical self-compassion when you haven't figured everything out and you haven't done all of the things. It's okay. So you're not behind, you're not too much. That's what I got told when I was young. And you're not too late. Self-compassion is the foundation for sustainable visibility. Now, when I've paused, and Hyacinth, I know that you know this, when I've paused in my business, I'm like, guys, I'm pausing. I paused my daily lives to get my 1 week to create a movement marketing media kit challenge. And then I was like, oh, well, I'll rest the next week as well. And so, and it's been 3 weeks. So I was back on today. In this service, one needs to be very compassionate. Be compassionate to others and be compassionate to ourselves. Sometimes we're hard on ourselves and expect perfection. And I'm not perfect. I'm a recovered perfectionist. And I do ask for that. I do ask for not necessarily compassion, but I do ask for that. I call it grace. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this, this, and this. I serve, and I know that I serve in a really big way. But yeah, practice that radical self compassion, and don't beat yourself up, because you are exactly where you are, and that is exactly where you need to be. Let me see what else I want to say about this one. Okay, meet yourself. Oh, so there you go. Meet yourself with grace every time fear arises, and by grace, I just mean like it is that self compassion. It's accepting where you are, knowing that fear can come up and it's normal. There's nobody on the planet that has done exceptional things, the things that you want to do, even that hasn't had fear at some point. So don't worry about it. It's okay. Treat yourself, hang on, treat yourself like you would your soul clients, with love and not pressure. So you know how we're kind to other people and we're like, oh, it's okay, blah blah blah, and then we're like beating ourselves up behind closed doors. That's not the one. All right. For this spiritual business marketing tip, you don't need to push your way into visibility. You can love your way there. Do you love that? You don't need to push your way into visibility. You can love your way there. Every time fear whispers, and it will, fear of being seen online, and it will, answer it with compassion. You are safe, you are ready, you're enough now, right? You are safe, you are ready, and you are enough now. That is huge. There was a point where I was like, I didn't feel enough and I didn't feel worthy. And people look at me and I was not confident. And people like look at me and they don't believe me. I'm like, no, that is where I was. That is 100% where I was. But it's just been practice for me. The next spiritual business marketing tip in this Fear of Being Seen online series is anchor into daily rituals. Now, you guys, if anybody knows me, they know for me, I systematize everything, like literally love this. Love that tip. Do you? Hey, do you know what? So I'm going to be completely transparent, because you guys know I'm completely transparent, right? So I did 3 Fear of Being Seen online videos a little while ago, about a month ago. And then I had other things to do. Tyson, do you know what I had? I've had my 1 week to create a movement marketing media kit challenge, and then my masterclass and my monthly calls, etc. So I just give myself that grace, right? And so I've gone back into my StreamYard today to do these tips. I had not prepared at all. And I was like, shall I go live? Shall I do it private? I was like, I'm just going to go live. So I set the StreamYard for like 20 minutes. There was a time where I would prepare for hours. And so these videos, the Fear of Being Seen online and the spiritual business marketing tips, are lined up and scheduled out on my YouTube channel. You'll see them here at the Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona. So I've got like 45 videos ready. And I talk about this in the book, right? I talk about this in the book, about adding your book launch videos. And so we don't just create the videos, right? So they're there. And then I got AI, ChatGTP, to do me these tips. I'd been working with it and knowing what I wanted to say, and it knows my voice now. And so it was a little while ago. And so then I was like putting the tips in here, and I'm like reading it. And because the lights are really bright, and like I've got a learning dyslexia, so I don't really function well with a white background and reading. So I was just like, I read through them really quickly, and then I just riffed. It's just, I don't have that fear anymore. I'm just like, it'll be cool, it'll just come through me. And then you coming on here just fuels me even more. Do you know what I mean? I teach you to work smarter, not harder. There's 7 tips. You might do a 10-minute video. I try get this done in 30 minutes. And then if somebody comes on with me, then that's it. I just wrote an article, I'm enough. Did you? Yeah, I'm enough. And I know that the niche that you're going into, speaking into that, you are enough. And so you go back to the version of you when you're being seen online and you're reaching into the soul niche that you're serving. Everything that you do, you can come from that place of compassion and just really hearing what it is that your clients are going through. So anchoring into the daily rituals again for this tip number 4 for spiritual business marketing. So let me share with you some of what I wrote down. Hang on. So Consistency doesn't have to mean rigidity. It can be sacred. And so like I said, if you guys know me, I live a very intentional life, and I'm systematize everything. Like when I'm opening up my windows, because I always open up a lot of windows and share my screen, I'm like, okay, what screens am I sharing? I put an alarm on my phone that went off while I was doing my daily life that said, for my monthly call, open a certain set of windows. Once I open those once, I'll save that set of windows in a Google Doc or a Google Note, and then the next time I'm prepared. Having daily rituals and daily routines. If you guys see my journaling, right? And I'm coming with the journal. If you guys see in my journal, I have in my daily life, I have the same format every single day. It's just that I apply to a different area of my life. So I talk about the 7 areas, 7 freedoms, I call them, the spiritual, business, and life work balance. When you go out there and if you do have a fear of being seen online, you're going to have less of a fear of being seen online if you're being authentic and if you're managing the other areas of your life. So anchor into your daily rituals to support you in your spiritual business and living life, and not actually just focusing on your business, right? So light your candle, say your affirmation, and bless your business. Give your business love. Sometimes we don't always even feel like a business owner, right? We don't feel like we're in spiritual business. We're just like a healer or a light worker. We're gifted as a coach, as a mentor, etc. And really, we have a business, right? So bless your business, all right? So rituals anchor your nervous system so that you can feel safe to show up. Sacred rituals, safe containers for expansion. And so again, this spiritual business marketing tip, it might be like, oh, well, that's not really marketing. It is blessing your business and feeling good about how you show up is massive. Arsene says journals are great too. Yeah, a daily journal. So if you notice any of my videos, I have props in my videos. Right, I've got my phone and I'm looking at these tips that were created. I co-created way ahead of time, and so I can just show up. And so on the daily lives, I go through my journal. On my challenges, I go through my mind map. On my masterclass, I go through my slides. Like, I don't just when you've got a fear of being seen online and you haven't anchored into those rituals, it means probably that you're not as organized as you could be, and that's okay. You can learn it. So one of the best ways I manage my emotional waves of being visible online is through my daily rituals. Simple, sacred practices to ground me back into my purpose. They don't have to be fancy, they just have to be yours. And so I walk you through aligning with your vision, your values, and your vibration every single day, like managing your emotions. Let's go to the next tip in this spiritual business marketing tips, and the fear, and suppose hopefully moving you through that fear of being seen online. Tip number 5. Are we on tip 5 or are we on tip 4? Hang on. Are we on tip 4? Yeah, we are. Tip 5. Okay, tip 5, share your whole story. So let me read a little bit of what I wrote. Share your whole story. So you don't have to wait until you're fully healed to be helpful. Have you ever thought that? You're like, how am I to help anyone? Like, I can't. Like, not even that you don't even have to be fully healed. You don't have to be all the way there to where it is that you want to go. I've got growth, not even a long way. I've got growth in my spiritual business. There's so many things I want to do, but I can teach. I can look back from where I'm not just starting out. Do you know what I mean? So you don't have to wait until you're fully healed to be helpful. Please don't connect to perfect. People don't connect to perfect. They connect to real. Recovered perfectionists over here. Nobody on my 1 week to create a movement marketing media kit challenge, my mind map was kicking my butt. Like it was, and I wasn't perfect. And everybody's like, this was gold, the wisdom, I was not, I was nowhere near perfect, right? So perfectionism is a form of self-sabotage. So share your whole story. I was sharing on the 1 week to create a movement marketing media kit challenge that I shared the story of, well, this software I've used for like 10 years, 12 years, 15 years, whatever it is. And the whole story is that it's updated, it's software and it's kicking my butt. I didn't pretend that wasn't happening. Do you know what I mean? So let your story breathe online. Let your humanity shine. Your truth is someone else's permission to. Is this a slip? you so if I'm slipping, you're slipping. All right. Share your whole story. You're not here to perform perfection. You're here to share your story in a way that liberates others. So let people see your light and the journey it took to uncover it. I'm always sharing my journey with you guys. I'm always like, do you know what I did when I shared it again? I've shared that actually I created these videos. They're book launch videos to share my book, to share spiritual business marketing tips, to share how you can be uh, like move through that fear of being seen online. And one of the reasons why is because if you come to my movement marketing media kit challenge and you have a fear of being seen online, you're not going to market your business. So I can support you with spiritual business and life work balance. I can support you with your business model. I can support you with marketing. But if you've got a fear of being seen online, we're done. Do you know what I mean? So Hyacinth says going through the healing process and speaking out is helpful to yourself and others. It's really therapeutic. And especially the model that I teach you guys, because we do the business side, the light work side, and we do the lifestyle side. And so you guys will hear me talking about my own lifestyle and my own journey while I'm doing my spiritual business. So whatever the two areas that you'll speak about for your audience, it's so refreshing to just hear someone speak from their truth. And rather than pointing to their clients to do the thing that you're not willing to do or you've dropped off, sharing your whole story doesn't mean talking about your whole business, but it does mean being gentle with yourself and having your guys be gentle with themselves as well. All right, let's go to the next tip. All right, so tip number 6 for the fear of being seen online. We've got 7. And so the 6th tip, to surround yourself with soul allies. Thank you. Can I get an amen? Thank you, Hyacinth, so much for being on here with me. Surround yourself with soul allies in your spiritual business. Spiritual business success is not an individual thing. Even though we're like, I can do it. Like, no, it's really not. And I've said this so many times, and I was like, I've had joint uh, vision partnerships. I've had a co-producer. I had to get somebody to be there that I want to be around as well. So surround yourself with soul allies. It might take a little bit of a while to get the right people, but do it. All right. So hang on, let me just see. Share your whole story. All right, cool. You don't have to wait until you're fully healed. That was the share your whole story. Share your whole story. I didn't share all of it. Share your whole story in a way that yeah, I did. Surround yourself with soul allies. You weren't meant to do this alone. Let your community be your mirror and your anchor. I love that. Like connect soul to soul with the people that you're here to serve. You don't have to put yourself up on a pedestal. I was talking in the Movement Marketing Media Kit Challenge, and it is about acknowledging your movement. I call them movement makers. So let your community be your mirror and your anchor. Align with those who remind you who you really are. Visibility expands when you feel spiritually supported. Visibility expands when you feel spiritually supported. Surround yourself with your soul allies. I would not be doing what I'm doing without soul family. Soul family is right on here. Soul family. When you surround yourself with people who see you, being seen becomes less scary. Find your people, build your lighthouse. And I talk about that in the chapter 11 of my book. Okay, hang on. Going through the Yes, I can't remember what you said. Yes, do. But thank you. I really appreciate that. I appreciate you just giving me your time. Everybody always says, I don't have time. I don't have time to, build my business. I don't have to. We do. We're wasting time. And sometimes we haven't got those soul allies around us. Sometimes we've got people that are, what does my daughter call it? Is it green-eyed or whatever it is? I don't know. Like some people are not really rooting for your success necessarily. And it's not even that sometimes people are out for you. It's just like, they're gutted about themselves. And yeah, you just got to have the right people around you. So let's go to tip number 7. It's the last tip, and I've got a bonus tip for you. And it's fear of being seen online. So 7 spiritual business and marketing tips. The 7th tip is move with embodied confidence. Now, this is easier said than done. And I had a confidence session with the confidence guy many years ago. You wouldn't even think it, but I did. Rich Litvin, and he works for Mind Valley now and EverCoach. And so he was the confidence guy back then. I didn't have all the confidence that I've got now, but the confidence comes from doing the thing. Like, move with embodied confidence. It comes from doing it over and over and over again. I was looking at my YouTube channel and I was watching my own movement marketing media kit challenge, and I watched how YouTube showed the next video, and it was from a couple of years ago. I was like, that's not the video that I want them to share as the next video. It's got to be for this year. And then I went in and I typed into my content on YouTube. And the first time I did it, the Movement Marketing Media Kit Challenge, I think it was 2021. And I did it in 22, 23, 24. I might have skipped a year. And then you just move with embodied confidence. People are like, oh, well, Iona, you've got this, you've got that. But it's from hard work and actually failing forward, literally failing forward. Confidence isn't something you just fake, it's something you feel. You feel confident when you have clarity, and then you move, right, in your spiritual business. Move your body, ground your energy, speak with presence. Let your actions align with the version of you who already knows she's ready. Embody, or he's ready. Embodied is your power source. Embodiment is your power source. Reconnect daily. The last part of this tip is confidence doesn't come from waiting to feel ready. It really doesn't. It does not. Sometimes you just have to do it, whether you feel confident or not. It comes from deciding to move with presence anyway. Breathe, ground, step into the energy of the version of you who knows this is your time. And I've got a bonus tip for you. Let me know which of these tips that you resonate with most. The bonus tip, fear of being seen online, is not just about the fear of being seen online, right? There's so many things underneath it. And so it's about it's never just about being seen. It's about being judged, being misunderstood, and being exposed. I've had many conversations where people say to me on my intake forms, I feel a fear of being judged, or I feel misunderstood. I felt all those ways. So when it's like, oh no, I don't want to get on camera, I've got to fit, it's deeper. The things are deeper. And when you're marketing your spiritual business, when you're fearing being judged or misunderstood, it's often by the people that are closest to you. Like being misunderstood online, that people that you don't know, like you're probably not, that's not going to hold you back because you don't know those people. But it's probably the people that are closest to you that hold you back. So the fear of being seen online isn't just, oh, well, I've got a fear of being seen online. There's so many layers to it. Hopefully these spiritual business marketing tips help you with your fear of being seen online and help you to process. Let me know which tip landed for you today. And you can copy and paste the tip in the comments. Share this out. I think that as Hyacinth says, just being authentic. Being authentic came up, that word came up when we did the 1 week to create a movement marketing media kit challenge for sure. But it doesn't, being authentic, when we just say, oh, we'll be authentic, it's helpful. But it's like, how do we know what that authenticity feels like or is unless we do reclaim our power, right? So hopefully, again, that actually helped you to think about reclaiming your power. I would say that if you do not have my book, then the principles in the book, principle one, principles of consistently going public, it's free in my masterclass. If you go to the soullegacyacademy.com/courses / masterclass, you'll get that. And so the key principle of integrity-based self-publishing as well. The fear of being seen online. I reclaim my power. Are you ready to reclaim your power? Hopefully you are. I've enjoyed creating these tips for you. There's 3 videos coming out every single week sharing spiritual business and marketing tips. Hyacinth, thank you so much for joining me. I am about to wrap up, and I will see you in the next video. Big love. Take care.